19th July. Everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis live on SuperSport. Only on GoTV.
From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game. Live the FIFA World Cup experience. With VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality. Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment. From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game. Live the FIFA World Cup experience. With VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality. Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Car. Let's bring. He did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, strong and tough.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
In 2025, the Bank of Ghana reported a loss of 15.63 billion Ghana cedis. But without one major move, that loss would have been 33.19 billion Ghana cedis.
So what actually changed the picture? Gold. The bank sold refined gold it had accumulated under its domestic gold purchase program.
But mainly in 2023 and 2024, when prices were relatively lower. By 2025, prices had increased. So when the bank sold it, it made 9.57 billion Ghana cedis in profit.
And there is also the savings jar effect, past gains from rising gold prices that were not actually recorded immediately.
When the gold was sold, those gains were released, adding 7.99 billion Ghana cedis.
So in total, gold delivered 17.56 billion Ghana cedis in relief. Without it, the loss jumped to 33.19 billion Ghana cedis.
So now, what was actually driving the losses underneath?
16.73 billion Ghana cedis open market operations. This is the bank paying commercial banks to hold onto excess cedis instead of lending them out. It's a standard tool used to reduce money in circulation in the economy, just to cool down inflation. But in 2025, it came at a very high cost, and that's 16.73 billion Ghana cedis.
9.05 billion Ghana cedis from other gold program losses. These are trading and operational losses outside the main gold sale, including the wind down of gold for oil program.
The exchange rate, 5.47 billion Ghana cedis stronger cedi impact. The cedi moved from 14.7 Ghana cedis to 10 cedis 45 pesos per dollar. That sounds positive, but only for importers. Here's the issue. The bank actually holds a lot of its assets in dollar terms. So when the cedi strengthens, these dollar assets lose value when converted back into cedi, leading to 5.47 billion Ghana cedis loss.
3.29 billion Ghana cedis from personnel costs. Staff costs increased significantly, driven by a rise in employee numbers.
Just note that gold didn't solve the problem. It actually just absorbed the shock.
And without that gold intervention, the bank's 2025 financial position would have been far worse.
Teenage pregnancy is stressful. It is world war.
Dreams are paused, futures rewritten, and childhood replaced with the heavy responsibility of raising a life.
They impregnated her, and at the end of the day, when she came, she was HIV positive.
This is not just a story of motherhood, it's a cautionary tale.
Your friends will laugh at you at that time because nobody expects you to get pregnant at that time. You get that reactions from the nurses when you go to the antenatal. Some of you will go like a krakatiwa, so they walk off.
Too young to mother on Joy News.
On PM Express, power is confronted, claims are tested, and accountability is not optional.
The first 2 months in office between January, February, and March, we had already brought down this rate, and then we have sustained it since.
Politics, business, the economy, social justice. If it affects your life, it will be examined. If it shapes your future, it will be interrogated.
You ever sitting there today, you see me sweating, I'm answering your question, you in the comfort of your chair, putting all these questions to me. That is why you would not have the responsibility of bringing about this document.
No safe spaces for evasion, no comfort in half-truths, just facts, pressure, and the courage to stay with the question until the answer comes.
Your word says,
my words were,
those
listen,
on Compact Plus, you pay 570 and you get more channels.
Evans,
that moves you.
This is the speech.
To the
speech I read yesterday is what I'm holding here. You didn't read the speech. You didn't write it. I wrote it and I read it.
Because democracy demands scrutiny and the public deserves clarity. When the day's noise fades and the nation needs understanding, there is PM Express on Joy News. Independent, fearless, credible.
Every morning before the rush, before the arguments, before the headlines begin to chase us,
there's a moment to pause, to listen, to understand what truly matters. This is where the day begins.
Mr. Ken Oforiatta, a man who has run away from his own people he once served. We believe in the spirit of accountability. It is important for him to come and answer charges preferred against him by the state.
On the AM show, the news is not just read, it is examined. The stories shaping your life, explained with clarity, handled with care. We ask the questions without fear.
If your constituency cannot grow enough tomato for Ghanaians, then there's something wrong with your constituency.
My name is Emefa Akosua-Adeti.
And I am Samuel Kojo Brace.
Two voices, one purpose, holding the powerful to account, putting your interests first in every conversation.
No noise, no spin, just facts, context, and the courage to ask the right questions.
Start your day informed, start your day empowered. The AM show on Joy News is definitely worth waking up for.
Joy News, independent,
fearless, credible.
Yeah!
Superwoman!
Welcome to the program. The national chairman of the NDC, Asiedu Nketiah, has revealed an explosive detail about how the decision to change the leadership of the party leading to the 2024 general elections resulted in serious tension within the party. The decision saw the termination of the leadership of Haruna Iddrisu, Gavin's Kwame Agboja, Muntaka Mubarak, and others, making way for the appointment of Akufo-Addo's leadership. The decision has since bred rumors about a seeming tension between the chairman and the four, including the then flag bearer, John Mahama. Listen to Asiedu Nketiah explain the reason for the decision and fallouts that came with it.
Few things were emerging, and I said that we have to change the forward line of Parliament. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to win election. President Mahama disagreed with me, but I said that, look, you have elected me as chairman of this party. I am the coach of the party going into the election. So let me make the changes that will win us the election. When we win, we all enjoy together. Since I made that change, I say my brother Haruna sit somewhere. The other guy, Muntaka, who also sit somewhere. Let people come, new people come, and you sit on the bench and watch. There was hell, and people started thinking that somebody who has been my friend for more than 20 years has certainly become my enemy. I said, how can Haruna become my enemy? He cannot become my enemy. But I am a coach, and I must watch how our opponents are playing, so that I also arrange my things for us to be able to win. When we did the arrangement, we went into the election. The victory that NDC got in 2024, have you seen any such victory in Ghana since the beginning of the Fourth Republic?
That's the national chairman of the governing NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketiah. He, however, downplayed any bad blood between him and Haruna Iddrisu and Muntaka Mubarak, for instance, insisting he engineered their appointments.
I told President Muhammad that we cannot ignore Muntaka and Haruna in the setting up of our government. So they need to be given big positions. President Muhammad agreed, and they gave them big positions. And we are working together. So if you are in Tamale here, and you are forming groups, Haruna group, Asiedu Nketiah group, and so on, it is not our case. It is your case in Tamale here. It's not us. Because we are working together. And so, Chief, I just came to thank you and to assure our followers that NDC will continue to be one. There will be struggle for positions. There will be times people will be angry, others will be smiling. But at the end of the day, when we are struggling for things, we must make sure that the vehicle we are traveling in together will remain intact. Don't let us carry our differences in ways that will destroy the NDC vehicle that keeps us in power.
Well, that assurance is now being questioned as the two seem to be taking subtle jabs at each other on two separate thank you tours. Haruna Iddrisu during President Mahama's thank you tour of the Savannah region described Chairman Asiedu Nketiah's thank you tour as a curtain raiser. Listen to him.
Legacy was to have this Boale College of Education established in this area. And I recall when President came for his thank you tour, not the other thank you tour, the proper thank you tour of President Mahama, proper thank you tour of President Mahama, as President Flag Bearer. What cannot be said, because we can say it. A proper thank you of President Mahama, not the curtain raiser one. Not the curtain raiser one. When President Mahama came for his thank you, he assured the people of Tinga, thanks to your MP, that they will get a dedicated STEM school. We will be there shortly. That school, when you start from kindergarten, you will see your end at senior high school in the same building. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce to you your own son, President of the Republic, who keeps his word.
That's the Education Minister, Haruna Iddrisu. Well, some key party officials have already raised concerns over deepening cracks within the party regarding who succeeds President Mahama. The big question we're asking this afternoon on The Pulse is, has the president lost control of his own party? And really, what could be the consequences if these perceived internal divisions are not addressed immediately? Joining me on Zoom is political scientist Dr. Paul Hezwa. He's a lecturer at Unimac IJ. Also joining the conversation is political scientist Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Dr. Asante Ochre, I want to begin with you. What do you make of Johnson Asiedu Nketiah's justification for the removal of Haruna Iddrisu as then minority leader?
Well, obviously, that's a point of correction. Political analyst and an executive director at the African Institute of Strategic Studies. At the time, you remember quite rightly that the narrative then was going to be a matter of the economy. And so the NDC, as at that time, was at any point in time one step ahead of the government. And you could appreciate the fact that Dr. Akufo-Addo then was the one who raised the issues of possibly some haircut. Government denied it, that was supposed to go to, the IMF and so on and so forth. So you could see that the path, or in terms of the 2024 elections, what was going to happen was the fact that the economy was going to drive the narrative. And so it was a strategic decision that, the chairman, if he single-handedly took that decision, did so. So as of now, I believe that, that decision was not taken lightly. And so if you ask me, that is my preliminary comment on that particular question.
Let me bring in Dr. Hezwa there. You're welcome to the program. What do you make of Chairman Asiedu Nketiah's claim that he engineered the removal of then minority leader Haruna Muhammad and also minority chief whip Muntaka Mubarak? Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you. Right, we are trying to establish connection to Dr. Hezwa there, but I still have Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ocher with me. The NDC constitution clearly states that if in government, the president is the leader of the party. In view of these perceived cracks, would you say the president really has a hold of this party? Because many are arguing that it appears that the chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketiah, is rather playing that role while the party is in government.
Well, I don't think that is the case. In actual fact, when the decision was taken to remove the two and the others, President Mahama was not even yet the candidate of the NDC. He had not been elected. And so at that time, he was then, the front runner in terms of being the leader of the party.
Right.
So when he suggested that the president did not like that particular decision, then not yet a candidate, he said he didn't like that decision. Well, for me, if that decision had not, yielded the desired result, I don't know what he would have said, for now. But as of now, the president is indeed in charge. He is the leader of the party. But you have to appreciate something. Where Mr. Asiedu Nketiah is coming from is the fact that, look, he wants to demonstrate to the people whom he was talking to that he has leadership qualities, that a leader, should take a decision, whether for good or for bad, he must stick by it, right, and take responsibility. So he wants those audience to appreciate the fact that, well, he took that decision inured to the benefit of the party. That for me in itself is an overkill.
Right.
Changing or doing a reshuffling in Parliament was not flag bearership. You cannot in any way suggest that, that thing led to the defeat or the massive win of the NDC. I think that one is an overreach. And apart from that, finally, on the same question, he has virtually made me believe that indeed he has a presidential ambition, because it's like he's touting his leadership skills before the people. So he's telling them that tomorrow, if the need arises, that I decide to go for a seat of that nature, don't forget the leadership qualities that I demonstrated that led to the party winning in that massive fashion.
In fact, he likened himself to a coach who made tactical changes in the twilight of a game which resulted in a massive victory for them. Really, did that change make any impact at all?
It did. It led the narrative, the political narrative, to be more driven by the economy. You see, and it's like once the economy that the MPP was running, look at inflation where it was, their debt to GDP, the interest rate. All these things are issues that affected every Ghanaian, wherever you found yourself, high fuel price and other thing, and you needed somebody with that, artistry, with that mastery, to be able to explain things of that nature to the listenership and understanding of the ordinary Ghanaian. And so, obviously, it played an important role. But that couldn't have led to, because if you argued in that fashion, then it means you are undermining the role that the flag bearer elect played to get the elections tilt to their favor. Right. That is why I said that it's an overreach. It couldn't have directly been the case that because there were some changes done at the minority level. But you see, it also suggests something. Were these leaders doing something ugly? That is the conspiracy theory, for which reason he said there were things emerging. What are those things that were emerging? Was it just the economy, or the fact that the minority leader then was accused of being too friendly with the majority then? Is that the case? What are those issues that were emerging? He's talked up more, conspiracy theories into the narrative, of which probably we will have to interrogate.
Or could it possibly be that he foresaw the future that Haruna Iddrisu could become a potential threat if he remained a minority leader, because he could have automatically transitioned to become a majority leader if the party won, and then he could have gotten more MPs to back his presidential bid, perhaps? That is exactly also the case. Hazarding such a guess is not far, from a reasonable conclusion, because Mr. Haruna is a colossus within the party. If you even look at the way his vetting processes went, the minority then, Mr. Fenyomakin was virtually hacking everyone that he felt, was holding the light or a torchbearer of the NDC. But when it got to Haruna's vetting process, you could see the friendliness and then the idea of people praising him here and there. So, Mr. Haruna, he's been a fantastic, previously he was a minister, he's been a fantastic MP. Some of us even felt that if Mr. Aban Babin, is no longer the Speaker of Parliament and they are still in government, the most likely person, if he does not go for the presidency or he doesn't, get to that level, the most likely person with that kind of experience is Haruna. And those are some of the arguments I made when the changes were made. Dr. Santiotre, don't go yet. Dr. Paul Hezwa is a lecturer at UNIMAG IJ. Welcome to the program. You're a political communications expert. I want to pick your thought on the move that Johnson Asiedu Nketiah made to remove then minority leader Haruna Iddrisu and replace him with Akufo-Addo Forson. Was it a tactical move, you say, and did it pay off at all? Unmute your microphone so we can hear you. Hello, Dr. Hezwa, can you hear me? We're finding it difficult to establish connection with Dr. Hezwa there. Let me try one more time. Can you hear me, sir? Unfortunately, we're struggling to establish connection with him, but I still have Dr. Jonathan Asantiotre there with me. Dr. Asantiotre, so going forward, really, do you think that this is narrowing down the potential candidates for the flag bearership role of the NDC to Haruna Iddrisu and Johnson Asiedu Nketiah, you'd say?
I don't think we may draw such conclusions for now. As for the flag bearers, a lot more people are within the space. When the time is due, definitely they will come up. It is just that the chairman is going around on a methodical thank you tour, where, for example, for me, it demonstrates that what Mr. Gbande said, that there is a disconnect between the party and government, is really the case. Because take, for example, if the president is in the northern region and then the chairman too is in the northern region, so to speak, one on a thank you tour, one on a particular mission that is supposed to augment the status of the presidency and then the government itself. And then I felt that if there were no disconnection between the two, I was expecting the chairman to have joined the president. And then when he's done, he can go on a thank you tour. But he decided not to do so. So it's as if everybody is championing a particular cause, as of now. And it's a bit difficult because the chairman is an elected officer of the party, is not the president appointee. So that in itself is also a dicey situation, because how do you deal with such a situation where his activities may go a long way to undermine the integrity of government and so on and so forth? Because for me, for you to say that, well, the president disagreed with you, and also you rather, told the president to give these two some important positions, right?
Yeah.
That for me, saying that in public is a breach of confidentiality. Because you guys might have sat down to discuss who gets what and who gets what. That in itself is not supposed to come into the public domain. But all of this have come about because I see the chairman, wanting to champion a particular cause. And in any case, I've always asked myself, if you want to go on a thank you tour, when you were elected as a chairman, you did not do so. Then the flag bearer is elected. He gets, elected by the electorate to become the president. He goes on his thank you tour. You're also going on a thank you tour. So it makes everything appear like it is not a thank you tour, but it's a subtle way, of creating that kind of awareness and presence in the minds of the people and potential delegates in the future as well. And so it is a bit dodgy. For example, if you listen to what Dr. Callistus put out there, if you have listened to what Mr. Bande has also put out there, and that of Kwachi Fosu, it means that the presidency is worried about things of that nature. But we don't know how they intend to cure that particular mystery, because if you are not careful and certain things are put out there, it will rather be a distraction for government.
Right, Dr. Santiotre, thank you very much. He's a political analyst. I have Haruna Mohammed. He's the Deputy General Secretary of the opposition NPP. Haruna, welcome to the program. There are already concerns that cracks are beginning to show within the NDC, where there seems to be a power struggle as to who really is the leader of the party, whether it's John Mahama or Johnson Asiedu Nketiah. We've also seen the subtle jabs that have been thrown by the chairman of the party and also the Minister for Education, Haruna Iddrisu. What do you make of all that is going on within the party?
Thank you very much. I would like to say good afternoon to your charity rest. It is not in doubt that the leader of the NDC...
Kindly speak up so we can hear you.
I'm saying that it is not in doubt that the leader of the NDC is very clear in their constitution. It's John Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. When a flag bearer is elected in their party, the flag bearer becomes the leader of the party. If the person becomes president, he remains the leader of the party. So the national chairman becomes an administrative wing who assists the president or the leader of the party. So it's not in doubt. If there is this struggle between His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the chairman of the NDC, then it tells you how disorganized the NDC are. We all know how the NDC was formed, and we have always stipulated that the NDC has not been formed on a solid foundation because of the struggle in which they came from TNDC to this particular era. But there has always been a certain pattern that happens when it comes to this particular leadership role in the NDC. If you check the days of where Northerners were given Hudu Yaya and co, you saw how Hudu Yaya was treated, even as his leadership role when he started to go for national chairman. He was treated like a trash, and nobody had even rewarded him with any of maximum respect. So you look at that pattern and the confirmation of the chairman of the NDC of how Haruna was removed. You know, Haruna is coming from the north. He's a Dagomba by tribe. Hudu Yaya is a Dagomba by tribe. Muntaka is a Dagomba by tribe. And look at what they have done to them. Clearly, it shows that the NDC as a party doesn't like what is called Dagomba. Look at how when we lost the overlord of Dagomba. NDC picked it as football. They used it and benefited from it. Even when we were going to perform the funeral of the late King of Eddo, they refused to participate in the funeral. President Mahama came for the coronation. That's the only thing they came. Not even the regional party even sent items for the performance of the two funerals. So it clearly tells you that the forward march of Dagbon is not in the handbook of the NDC. And that is why they treat the towns of Dagbon with disdain, disrespect, and don't want them to lead any particular role. Even if you take such a decision to help the horses of the NDC, you don't come out publicly to say so. And when you say so, it shows how the level of disrespect you have for the people. It is not something that you have to brag. Haruna, no matter what, I'm not in the same political party with him, but Haruna is an institution in the NDC. Muntaka is a principal person in the NDC. And I'm very proud that they are Dagombes and I'm Dagombe. And they should learn to treat Dagombes right. They should learn to treat Northerners right. And if not for anything, I can question that it's because John Mahama is a Northerner. That is why they are also thinking like that.
I'm struggling to get the connection here. Haruna, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm struggling to get the connection and the accusation that because Haruna and then Muntaka are Northerners, that is why they're being treated like that. Because John Mahama is the second Northerner to become president after Edward Mahama. And he's from the NDC. He's contested or been president for 2 terms on the ticket of the NDC. So I'm struggling to understand why you're saying that the party that elected a Northerner to become president for 2 terms is against Northerners.
Yes, if you give the Northerner opportunity and you know that the Northerner is the leader of the party, will you organize a thank you talk that would not be in line with the leader of the party?
Many will.
You have the president doing a thank you talk.
Haruna, can you hear me? Many will argue that this has nothing to do with ethnic group. This has nothing to do with where anyone comes from. This is purely political. Or you think there's more?
There is more to it.
Okay.
Because why? When Haruna was removed, he was from the north. When he was removed, and Muntaka was from the north. When he was removed, even though he is in a tertiary region, where he comes from is very material. When they were all removed, tell me who among the northern bench was put in that particular role? Nobody from the north was put in that particular role.
But did somebody?
Why is it that
somebody
the
from the north
proud enough to come and put? Not in any constituency, but
Haruna, we've had the likes of Alban Bagbin, Haruna Iddrisu himself, all lead the NDC caucus in Parliament. So again, I'm struggling to understand what you mean by they are sidelining Northerners. And is there any law within the NDC that says that you have to be a Northerner in order to be put in a leadership position in Parliament?
There is always implication and analysis.
What are they?
When certain things are happening, you have the opportunity to analyze the pattern.
Okay.
And I'm saying that the pattern in which it happened, in the case of Haruna and Muntaka, you are mentioning about Alban Bagbin. Alban Bagbin is a remnant of Haruna because Haruna and co proposed Alban Bagbin to be the speaker. So if the party could have removed the speaker by a decision from Adabraka headquarters, they would have done so. But because they cannot do that, because the removal of the speaker is a constitutional matter, so because they will not be able to do that, and we are not talking about this 1/3 parliament, we are talking about a shared parliament where we had 137, 137. So in which case, they wouldn't have been able to remove the speaker because Adabraka office cannot remove the speaker, but Adabraka office could have removed Haruna and Muntaka. And you look at the pattern and the boastful nature that the chairman will have to go to, even his constituency. If for anything at all, out of respect, you will not be speaking to his constituents that Haruna was removed.
Right. So you don't see it as a mere power struggle, but you see that there are more connotations in that. But Haruna, don't go ahead. I'll come back to you.
No, but Carlos, Henry, the point here is that there is no sensitivity was not played.
Okay.
Because they should have been sensitive to know that this communication should not, even though there is power struggle, and in that particular power struggle, you should be very sensitive in the information you put out.
Okay.
And we must also do so with values.
Okay.
We must also do so with inclusivity. We must do so with unity. And we will not look at NDC to force. We need NDC to be stronger for us to defeat them.
Okay. Haruna, don't go yet. Dr. Paul Hezwa. Let's try again one more time. He's a lecturer at Unimac IJ. Dr. Hezwa, please respond if you can hear me. Unfortunately, we do not have clear connection to him. Let me continue with you, Haruna. So clearly,
hello?
Yes, Dr. Hezwa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Thank goodness, I can hear you finally. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I want to pick your thought briefly on the statement by the NDC chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketiah, that he orchestrated the removal of Haruna Iddrisu and Muntaka Mubarak as leaders of the then minority caucus in Parliament. Good decision, you say?
Right, thank you very much. At the time, I think at the time, 2024, it wasn't very prudent for him to have stated things like that. But now he thinks that he's in a very good position to become the flag bearer, and for that matter, he will have to position himself as somebody who has the leadership qualities to move the party forward. But well, to some extent, one would say that it was a good decision because in the end they won. They won, but again, as my other colleague said, you cannot totally attribute that to the outstanding gap that resulted. Possibly it was part of the reason. But my worry is that, in trying to portray yourself as somebody worthy to represent the party as a flag bearer, it is important that at this point, you need to be very careful about the packaging of your message because, well, you are portraying yourself as somebody who is very solid and who can really take bold decisions. But you also have to think about the party itself. I mean, whether what I'm saying is going to really put or endanger the party in one way or the other, because you are giving arsenal to the opposition. And don't forget, MPP themselves, they actually found themselves in this same situation, and it really contributed to their downfall. So it is quite worrying that in trying to project himself as a worthy candidate or somebody who can be trusted, that is quite self-seeking anyway. But it has to be that the party ambition should be paramount, and you ought to be very careful how you package your message. Otherwise, it's going to be counterproductive.
Since it won power in December 2024 with that overwhelming victory, the NDC has always sought to project a very united front. Do you think that the cracks within the party are now beginning to show?
Certainly, as I'm saying, whilst they were in a position, the cracks were there, but because NDC, they are very good at trying to suppress, these divisions. But now the reality is, coming out clear, because one thing is that power vacuum has emerged. President Mahama possibly might not run again, per the constitution and all of that. And so now everybody wants to, put their right foot forward and then say that, yeah, I'm the right candidate. But in doing so, my contention is that in doing so, you ought to be very careful because your personal interest shouldn't override that of the party interest. If that happens, you are giving arsenal, you are giving the opposition the power to, hit at you, because they themselves, MVP, they suffered this massively. And even as we speak, they are trying to mend the fences and trying to make sure that they put their house in order. So you have the hindsight of what happened, and therefore you don't have to be doing things that put somebody into a position. That is my argument here.
This is the first direct confrontation between Haruna Iddrisu and Johnson Asiedu Nketiah, although none of them has publicly declared that they want to contest for the party's flag bearer. Do you think there's more to come, more showdown to come between them?
Certainly. This is just the beginning. And what I will say is that the party should do a lot to try to suppress some of these things. Because, look, power vacuum is emerging. And once power vacuum is emerging, everybody will contest equally and strongly and forcefully. And so, you are selling your candidature, or you are selling your, what you can offer the party. And so, in doing so, you have to also do so with caution, so that you don't really hit the party at a place that it will hurt most or give power arsenal to the opposition to drag the party, in the mud.
Right. Dr. Hezwa, thank you very much. Dr. Asante is still with us joining the conversation. Asante Otre, rather, Dr. Asante Otre, political analyst, is still with us on this conversation. I want to pick your final thoughts so that we wrap up.
Well, I will end my submission, by saying that I think at this point in time, this particular information that the chairman put in the public, space was not necessary. Sleeping dogs should have been allowed to be at their own corner, and then the system continues.
Right.
But I am also looking at a situation where if the activities of the chairman tend to be a distraction or anti-party, then obviously the structures of the party will have to work towards that to ensure that nobody, takes advantage of the system. Other than that, I think they must all be well focused on whatever they intend to do, for Mother Ghana.
What do you make of Haruna Mohammed's claim that the NDC seems to be against Northerners, particularly Dagombas? Because according to him, if you look at Haruna Iddrisu and then Muntaka Mubarak, they trace their origins as Dagombas, and that is why they were sidelined. Does he have a case?
Well, I was really surprised that Mr. Haruna went on that tangent. In the first place, were they not Dagombas that they were given the position in the first place? So I think it is much ado about nothing. They were Dagombas, they were given the position. So if they lose the position, it is not because they were Dagombas. That is why they've lost that position. What about they becoming ministers today? Is it because they are Dagombas? I think that argument is moot.
Right. Dr. Jonathan Asante Otre is a political analyst. Thank you very much. And earlier we heard from Haruna Mohammed, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the opposition NPP. We also heard from Dr. Paul Hezwa. He teaches at Unimac IJ. And this afternoon on The Pulse, we look at the growing political messaging battle in Ghana, with the NDC focused on tightening communication discipline, while the NPP claims rising threats to free speech. A reported directive from Godwin Akughan has sparked debate over centralized messaging within the NDC as the party seeks tighter control of its public narrative. The NPP, meanwhile, points to recent arrests of its members as evidence of political intimidation. Internal tensions in the NDC have also surfaced in the recent exchange between Asiedu Nketiah and Haruna Iddrisu over party decisions and President Mohammed's appreciation tour. So is this about message discipline or media control? And really, who is winning the narrative? Joining me in the studio is NDC Deputy Communications Officer Godwin Akughan. Mr. Akughan, grateful for your time this afternoon. You're welcome.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Right. I have a press release here dated Saturday, the 23rd of May. The subject is that enforcement of strict panel placement from Monday. It has your signature under it. Did you sign it?
Sure.
Okay. What necessitated this?
Right. Thank you very much. And then let me say good afternoon to all our viewers. You see, as a political party, we need to take control of the narrative. We've had our own experiences, especially in 2016, where we had His Excellency John Dramani Mahama doing a lot of fantastic work. And when we were, building schools, we were building hospitals, we were constructing airports and all that. We had our opponents who had no message to give, but spent time on peripherals, issues like Akonfem, issues like Papano, and all that. Unfortunately for most of our communicators, we also followed that route, and we engaged them on that level. And in fact, instead of spending time to talk about the achievement of the administration, we followed the Papano, Akonfem stories, and it drowned on the good works of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So this is just to alert all our communication team members to stay focused and let something pass under the water as we focus on the main agenda of making sure that the good work of this party is known to everybody.
The NDC has had overwhelming goodwill since it was elected into government on the 7th of January last year. But people are saying that people are starting to get fatigued. The NPP, for instance, says that members of their party are being arrested left, right, and center over alleged suppression of free speech. Is that something that worries the party, that you seem to be suppressing free speech? That is according to your opponents, the NPP.
The last thing that the NDC would do is to suppress free speech. In fact, NDC is a party that has gone through the ranks, and initially we were known to be a party that was born in power from the PNDC days, and then we evolved to NDC democratic era. So a lot of things happened during those times that we believe that were not media friendly and all that. Yes, we accept the early days of NDC. Today is the other way around. We get close to the media, unlike we've never heard of a story that NDC has attacked a media house and all that. But prior to the 92, 93 era, we had a lot of these things. And MPP is just worried because where they are now, they found themselves in a very unfortunate situation. They are drowning. And so this is one of their diversionary tactics to, take our minds off some of the things that they did. You see, let me read a letter to you.
Okay.
Or let me, it's a letter written by His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo to, directed to Victor Smith, or directed to the former President Rawlings through Victor Smith. And it's from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, P.O. Box M55, Accra, September 11th, 2003. Dear Mr. Smith, former President John Rawlings to visit Washington, D.C. My attention has been drawn by the Chief of Protocol to your letter of 10 September 2003 on this matter. The letter seeks the assistance of the ministry in the procurement of visas for members of former President Rawlings' staff, as well as the extension of appropriate courtesies for his travels. Courtesies which government has, since its assumption of office on 7 January 2001, constantly accorded. Government is somewhat astonished to find, however, that the former president, who uses every occasion of his foreign travels to malign and denigrate publicly his successor as President of the Republic, the current government, and by implication Ghana, continues to demand the extension of courtesies from government to facilitate travels. It makes little sense to continue to accord courtesies to someone who persistently refuses to reciprocate them, as his recent utterances in Nigeria vividly illustrates. Accordingly, it is not possible at the moment for government to grant the request in your letter. Yours sincerely, Nana Akufo-Addo, MP, Minister for Foreign Affairs. To Mr. Victor Smith, Special Assistant, Office of J.J. Rawlings, P.O. Box CT 412, and all. So you see, this is a gentleman, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who have left office, handed over power to His Excellency, Ajekum Kofuor. Even courtesies that was due him was refused because he was criticizing the government. So if we are talking about people gagging people, if MPP today have issues about what the police is doing or national security is doing, let's ask ourselves, who started this? Where did this thing come from? That courtesies of a former president is being refused because he commented about some negatives that were happening in Ghana. So when you look at the trajectory, you will know automatically that this whole thing was started by the MPP. However, we all believe that there must be an end to some of these things. So when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was making this call, the first thing that he should have admitted was that things or a lot of water has passed under the bridge. Let's come to a compromise. Let us agree on some, let's have some understanding and see how best we will grow our democracy and then our politics. But as usual, hypocritically, we decide that we will not address the main issue, but you pretend as if NDC is doing something different. One thing I promised myself is not to, catalog the number of arrests that happened during our time. I've given you a first one of a president. If I'll give you another example of our national chairman, Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo, went to court from 2002 until 2006 when we won. He went to court for 88 solid times. What did Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo do? We had a meeting, communication meeting, after the attacks on NDC at the Ayawaso West Wagon by elections. Right after that, we had a meeting. However, some audios came out that he has said something that has a cause on national security or the safety of citizens or something. For 88 times, Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo was in court. The most bizarre and the most painful one was when Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo went for a surgery in US. The court date was supposed to be a week after. Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo appealed to the then Attorney General to excuse him for just a court date. So they should just extend the court date for a month so that at least after the surgery, he will heal and come back to Ghana and continue the trial. Godfred Odame refused. So he had to manage to come back to Ghana, and because of the surgery, he had to use 3 different flights so that after every 4 hours, 6 hours, he will have a rest before continuing. He came to Ghana only to be told that Godfred Odame is not ready, so the court date has been postponed. How cruel can we be to ourselves? So today, if you are demanding that we should either be lenient or we should not touch your beloved people who you have sent out to denigrate and attack people, with which mind would we appreciate, or with which intent do you have? That is where we are as a country.
Okay.
The political class, excuse me to say, there was a time that we could, when there's how do you call it, we are both having our campaigns or our rallies. The police will restrict us. If it is happening in Circle, nothing should happen on that route. Do you know why? It was a time that people could virtually attack, physically attack people. Today, we close from set, we talk, we chat, we do stuff. It means that our democracy is progressing. It is our prayer that some of these things like insult, disrespect, and all those things will leave our body politics. But we can't solve that hypocritically. And that is the call to NPP. When people were being arrested, a young man who is, I think, was then either a pharmacist or was in school, just held a paper, a placard, and said, "Open UGMC." What happened? You have attacked and denied His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings privileges. On our chairman, you did same. On our communication officer, lawyer Sami Jemfi, he also went through all this. So we are not coming to the levels of the young ones, the media personalities that were arrested and all that. We have gone through this. We don't intend to use it against the NPP. However, there should be some respect amongst ourselves and credit us with a little intelligence when you come out to attack people.
Do I see that or sense from the statement that you made that the NDC is now trying to take revenge over these things that were allegedly done?
NDC will never take a revenge.
So you support these arrests that have happened?
There are some I support. You see, let's put these things in proper perspective. Arresting somebody doesn't mean that the person is guilty until the court proves so. You are just investigating the issues or calling them to order or whatever. The problem I have is that you don't direct this to NDC, that NDC is behind it. The problem personally I have with the police too is that we shouldn't use bail as a condition to either depress somebody, feel depressed, or deprive somebody of his rights and all that. I am against the police on that. But when it comes to the arrest and putting them before court and all that, I don't have anything against it at all. However, we need to, for instance, how can you tell me that somebody has insulted His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? You have called a person. You are investigating the issue. What prevents you from giving the person bail? That is where I have an issue with. And because of that, the recent comment of one of their communicators, that if I've forgotten the name, but I know you know the story when I finish. When the person said that he threatened that NPP is going to burn our party office the next time we arrest somebody. This is pure arson. What has happened to the person? He has not been arrested. Do you know why I feel he has not been arrested? I feel the police may think that the people of Ghana will say they are doing too much. But this is a typical case that the person should have been arrested. Because today, if it so happens that our party office is on fire, where do you look up to? There's only one voice. Must we sit down to get to that point? Or must the person be invited? Somebody also goes out and says that, I think is their youth organizer, who says that we are going to weaponize our people. Do you already have the weapon? Or you are now going to get them?
But Godwin, that is in context. If somebody says they are weaponizing something, it doesn't mean they're picking arms, does it?
Listen, depending on where...
Yes,
but... If I say I am weaponizing you, I am giving you power to go and do something.
That I get, but saying that they are being given weapon, I don't.
It could be one of this.
Okay, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
So the police must intervene and find out the kind of weaponization he's talking about.
So you think Salam Mustafa should be invited by the police for that comment?
You invite the person, accord the person all his rights, privileges, and all that. If it is due a bail, let him have it so that you continue with your case and all that. That discipline must be seen in our body politics.
There are people who, the NDC says, the MPP says that there are people who were just criticizing the president. They claim that some even just posted that Dumso is back and were picked up by the police. That is a clear stifling of free speech, and that the NDC did worse to former President Akufo-Addo.
According to the police, that was not the reason for the arrest.
What was the reason, if you have the details?
Yes, there was a complainant that his billboard has been used to paste that.
Okay.
So it is not the Dumso is back, but the use of somebody's signage
without the
his
person's
knowledge
consent
and all that.
Okay.
It may be associated with him. That is why he made a report and the guy was picked up.
But do you think that people should be arrested for insulting the president?
For insulting the president, I don't know what the law says.
However, it is morally wrong for anybody to go out there insulting the president, insulting people and all that. I disagree to that.
We're not talking about morality here, Godwin. We're talking about practicality and the law.
Yes.
Do you think that people should be arrested for
if the
insulting the president?
cyber law criminalizes it and the police decide to use it, I don't have an opinion on that.
Okay.
Because you see, one way or the other, we can all fall foul of some of these things.
Right.
The most important thing is to acknowledge that I got it wrong, and sometimes you can even, when you go to court, sometimes they can tell you that correct this impression that you have given. So that opportunity is given to you. So if we have a challenge with the law, let's talk about the law. Because as we speak now, I don't see anything that's untoward that the police has done, apart from applying the law. That is why I say we shouldn't look at this thing with a hypocritical analysis. Let's be fair. If the law is something that we think it is not good for us, let's address it. And let us not single out people and say that if you are arresting MPP people, it is wrong. But if you are arresting NDC people, then we are good to go.
Right. Media Foundation for West Africa, I believe you've heard of them before. Yes, they released, a thorough work that they've done. And according to them, there's been 14 arrests of people who are thought to have criticized the government. They say that that is almost double of what happened during President Akufo-Addo's time. And according to their research, such arrests were 8. And within just 15 months, there's been 14 arrests of people seen to be heavy critics of the NDC government. If that is not a stifling of free speech, what is it?
They should go back on the work they did.
They didn't do a thorough job, you'd say?
One day, on the 17th of December, 28 people were arrested for demonstrating. And the highest point of showing your displeasure is through demonstrations. One day, on the 17th, 28 people, including my own chairman, Chairman Fifi Taylor, then my former chairman, Chairman Ava.
When was that?
For 17th of
when
December.
When was that?
17th
Remember
of
the
December.
year?
Yes, 2020. Immediately after the elections.
Okay.
You understand? People were demonstrating that we haven't had a fair elections. The results was inaccurate. They were just demonstrating on the 17th of December. They were arrested.
But Godwin, many would argue that that is quite different from this one. You say literally that they were demonstrating just because they felt like they were not satisfied with the election.
Yes.
But is that really
and they all had placards.
Happened?
Excuse me. They all had placards. You understand? And the placards had information, their sentiments on. So what is wrong with?
Many would argue that, especially after elections, if these things are not curtailed, they could lead to bigger issues. So is it that they were just demonstrating and they were picked up just for demonstrating?
Yes, they were just, and they
didn't offend anybody?
They didn't offend anyone.
Okay.
You can find out. They even went to court for, I think, a year or a year and a half. You understand?
Okay.
So these things have happened. So if you tell me that 14 people have been arrested and it's an issue, but 28 people with placards being arrested must not be part of your analysis or not be part of the data that you are working on. Then it means that you are being biased. Definitely you are being biased.
I see. Okay.
And I've not mentioned individual ones. I just mentioned the group just one arrest. 17 people. 17 December, 28 people.
If somebody says the president is incompetent and useless, do you think they should be arrested?
I don't want to engage in this individual ones.
Okay.
The Equiapims will tell you, Adia Onyen, no.
Okay. So you think it's condemnable?
Something that is bad, condemnable.
Okay.
We cannot change it in any way to suit somebody's whims and caprices.
Okay. Now there are concerns that there are cracks within your party. Over the weekend, your national chairman was campaigning. He mentioned the fact that he was the one.
The national chairman was campaigning for
Sorry, it was on a thank you tour, not campaigning. Thanks for the correction. He was on a thank you tour, right? And then he did indicate that he was the orchestrator of the reshuffle that led to the ouster of then minority leader Haruna Iddrisu. And then Haruna Iddrisu also replied that that thank you tour that is happening is a curtain raiser. They're saying that your party is brewing with controversy and it's really hurting the party. You are a major stakeholder in the party. You're an executive. Is that the case? Is the party worried about what's going on?
Right. I think that I have directed all my communication officers not to discuss this issue. So it is something that we want to stay away from. It is early days. We are in our reorganization time, putting the party structures from branch through to the constituency, regional and national elections. So we are supposed to stay on that and stay on the achievement of this administration. We wouldn't want to engage in a thing that somebody has said and something that somebody has responded to. So all communication, all members of our communication team are supposed to stay away from this discussion. The time will come for us to address this.
We know who is the leader of the party when you have a flag bearer, right? It's the flag bearer of the party. Sure. When you have him being a president, he is the leader of the party. Sure. And then we have the national chairman who also plays administrative role. Now, people are saying that they're confused as to who is the leader of the party because in one breath...
Those who want to be confused will be confused. But the fact is
But you heard Haruna Iddrisu.
The fact is that...
Haruna Mohammed.
No, forget about Haruna.
We cannot forget about...
You know
we
why
cannot
I'm
forget
that?
about
You know
it because they are
that?
stakeholders.
You see, sometimes people should add up, make the conversations richer. But to come in with trivial tribal matters in this day and age is colloquial. We can't tolerate that. That is why I don't want to discuss this. Where we are now, it is about getting this country together, avoiding tribal lines and gradually shading them off. When you leave the shores of Ghana and you meet a brother who says, I'm a Ghanaian, speaks a local language with you, the feeling, you may not have seen that person ever, but the feeling, you have seen a brother. That is what we should strengthen as a people.
Right.
Not this person is an Akan, this person is from the north, and we are older than that as a people. That's why I say let's not.
You did not let me finish asking that question, though.
I'm sorry.
We know your chairman is on a thank you tour. The president is also in the northern region. He was during the weekend where Haruna Iddrisu made that statement. People are saying that 2 years after NDC won power, why is the national chairman still on a thank you tour? Is there a leadership crisis in your party? It appears that everybody is fighting for attention within your party.
We don't have any leadership crisis. The president is the leader of the party. And the truth is that this leadership is more political, not administrative.
Right.
The head of administration too is the general secretary. So I don't see where the confusion is.
The confusion is why Johnson Asiedu Nketiah is on a thank you tour 2 years after the party won power.
This is the first time that we are seeing this. But he also gave good reasons why he thinks that he needs to go for this thank you tour. You understand?
Do I get the sense?
It doesn't take anything away from the president.
So does the party say that they are distancing themselves from the thank you tour that has been embarked upon by your national chairman?
Nobody has said that, has they?
So I'm asking you now, do you distance yourself from it?
Nobody has said that, and it's not come out for us.
Is this something that is sanctioned by the party? Who is even funding it? Is it the party?
A lot of, campaigns have been funded by not just the party. Sometimes you raise funds and you go around and all that. That would also be your contribution to the victory.
We're talking about this campaign in particular. Who is funding it? Is this sanctioned by the party?
I don't know. This is not a campaign, is it?
This thank you tour. It keeps confusing me.
No.
Thank you
it's
for
what is in your mind that keeps coming out.
No. Thank you for reminding me. It keeps confusing me. Is this thank you tour sanctioned by the party, Godwin?
You see, there are two levels. We have the Functional Executive Committee, and then we have the National Executive Committee. The National Chairman has informed us of the need, informed the Functional Executive Committee of the need to embark on this thank you tour.
And did you give your blessings to him?
Yes, the Functional Executive approved of it.
So who is funding it?
He didn't bring any budgetary thing for us to fund. So it means that he's getting people to help him out.
That means this is not something that is being funded by the party.
No, it's not being funded by the party.
Okay,
yes,
it's being funded privately through his endeavors.
Probably. I don't know, but that's why I say probably. Yeah.
So far, how is your reorganization going so far? We know that this will be the first time in so many years, since 2012, that we don't have the face of John Mahama on a ballot heading into the next election. So there's...
Our reorganization is going on well, and then currently we are at the branch level, soon we'll be at the constituency, regional, and then the national level.
Are there any timelines that you set to...
Yes, I think the final elections will be in December, the national election. That ends it, the reorganization.
December this year. That is to elect who?
The national chairman.
Okay.
Sorry, the
national executives.
Yeah.
Okay. And when will the flag bearer election happen?
Probably next year or next 2 years.
Why is it taking you so long? Because if you say next 2 years, that will be in 2028. That will be election year.
You see, the Constitution says that when we are in opposition, 2 years to the election year. When we're in power, it's 1 year to elections. That is what the Constitution says. So if we are going strictly by the Constitution, it's going to be early next 2 years. However, the next administration will take a decision on how to do it, especially when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama would not be, it's likely not to be on the ballot paper. You know, it's likely not to be on the paper. They will decide whether to stick to the 1 year to elections, or they will come back to the National Executive Committee to ask for amendments so that it may also come earlier or something. But we'll leave that to the next administration.
Of course, constitutions are made by humans and they can be amended at any time.
Exactly.
People are concerned that the delay in electing your executives, electing a flag bearer, is appearing to have a toll on the party. Cracks deepening within the party.
It is not having a toll. It's not having a toll.
Yes, I will let you land.
It is not dividing anything.
Okay.
We are not having any cracks. We are not having any cracks in this party.
There are concerns that there are cracks beginning to show. There are deepening cracks within your party. There are some officers who have raised concerns that the government and the party appear to be on opposite ends. We heard Mustafa Gbande, who is the Deputy General Secretary, made that assertion that it appears that the government and the party are on opposite
Probably
ends.
you didn't really understand Mustafa.
Okay, so you let.
So let me get it clear.
I will land and give you. I'll give you all the time. I'll give you all
I
the
fear
time.
you're landing. The way you want to land, I don't want you to land. So you didn't get Mustafa right.
So tell me what are you trying to say?
This is the first time that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has selected huge numbers of party people into his government.
Okay.
So where lies the crack? My boss, Same Jemfi, is the CEO of Goldboard. He is in the party, he is in government. My youth organizer, Akufo-Addo Pablo, is a minister for youth. He's our youth organizer. He is in government, he is in the party. Who else should I? Kali Caesar, Malek Basintale. They are both in the party, and in government. So at what point will you say that the party is detached from government? At what level?
Well, maybe I'll have to get Mustafa and get some clarity on that.
Even Mustafa himself is an appointee at the Flagstaff House, and he's at the party.
But the names, all these names that you mentioned, none of them has shown signs that they would want to lead the party into election 2028.
So that is where I don't understand why you think that if somebody has shown an interest.
I'm not thinking. Those are concerns of Ghanaians and party supporters.
So that's okay. Let me take that and say that I'll be surprised that somebody may feel that somebody deciding or wishing or hoping to lead the party must bring cracks to the party. Then it means that the party then would have been seen as very weak. Party will run, government will run, as long as we are together and we know that definitely there will be an election. We just need to be measured in the way we do things.
One of the reasons why the MPP went to the polls earlier to select their flag bearer was that they wanted the party to heal.
That is what they told you.
Yes, that's what
But in reality, they knew that the shine of Bawumia will fade. So if the shine of Bawumia will fade and they want Bawumia, let's settle that first before we go to the rest.
That is what you also know.
Thank you.
What is public is what I'm alluding to. So some are saying, why don't you model your flag bearer elections around that? Go to Congress early, elect a flag bearer so that you are able to galvanize support, heal the little cracks that are beginning to show in your party, and forge ahead to elections 2028.
Our elders will tell you that if laws are formulated because of you or around you, it's bad. And if laws are also revoked because of you, it is equally bad. So I think that the system we're operating is not hurting anybody. The most important thing is that get your branches, your base right before you choose your presidential candidate. So as long as that hasn't hurt us from 92 to now, I don't see the reason why we need to attack it as it is.
But from 92 to now, there are different circumstances, different things that have happened.
There have been worse times when the founder of the party, the late Nana Kunedu, wanted to be president, and Professor Mills also was contesting. A lot of things happened, but we finished our branches, we did everything, and then we got it right. The same thing, this is not the first time we are going for a presidential election. So I don't know why people are just getting worried for us. We are just fine.
Well, yes. Just last week, former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia met with the minority MPs, and he told them that they should position themselves as a government in waiting so that they come to power in 2029 as a well-prepared government in waiting. You say that they went to early elections because they feared that the popularity of Mahmoud Bawumia was fading. Is the NDC scared of the candidacy of Mahmoud Bawumia?
We have never been bothered.
Why haven't you? He's your opponent. He's your strongest opponent.
There's a reason to what I said.
Why are you laughing?
Sorry. The truth is that Bawumia has no message for the people of Ghana. The MPP must first get its act right. They must be able to, I don't know how to put it, but they must first know what got them to where they are with this embarrassing defeat of 38.8%. Forget about my figures and let me continue.
No, but I want to put it on record that the MPP did not get 38.2. They had 41.7 in the 2024 elections. You can continue.
It will be worse than that.
Okay,
but truth is that they must appreciate what got them down. Secondly, when we are talking of messaging, at least the NDC is gradually taking its boxes. The things that we campaign with, the thing that we promised, we are still taking boxes. And the people of Ghana appreciates respect, they appreciate achievements. They are not people that will just ignore the achievements of the NDC and say that because of something that the MPP is saying, we are going to change government. Not anytime.
What boxes are you taking?
We campaign with a manifesto.
Yes.
Yes.
You promised 24-hour economy.
Sure.
Have you delivered it?
We are on course.
You're 2 years.
We are on
2
course.
years.
We are on course.
What does on
You
course
see,
mean?
There are a lot of institutions today who are running 24-hour services because of the directives given by the president and the chief of staff.
Like which ones?
DVLA is doing 24. Gapoha is doing 24.
Ghana Publishing.
Ghana Publishing is also doing 24.
Passport Office.
Passport Office is doing 24. Yes, but in fact, there are more to come on, especially with the support we intend to give to the private sector to also move into the 24-hour economy.
But one of the caveats of the 24-hour economy was 133
Yes.
was that people are going to work 3 shifts.
Yes.
Is that happening?
Those
institutions that you are
It is
talking
happening.
about. So have there been
Gapoha is running shifts now.
So yes.
There have been huge recruitment now
Okay.
than ever at Gapoha. You
When
understand?
was it? Because we didn't hear of any recruitments.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't hear.
Okay.
Yes. They advertised recruitment.
Okay.
And they've employed, I'm sorry I can't give you the figure.
That's fine. That's fine.
Very huge work going on there. And especially now that they are going to also add the catapult. You understand? Next year, there'll be another line, and all that is going to be 24 hours.
So do you think that promise has been fulfilled, the 24-hour economy promise?
Not fully, because our intention, or at the end of it all, what we intend to see is to have manufacturing sectors running 24-hour economy. And as I keep saying, there are 3 folds. From the farm gate to the industries, and then to export and sales. That is the throughput. We haven't achieved that fully. But in the service sectors, we are doing extremely well. So after that, we can confidently say that we have ticked the box fully.
The MPP says that the 24-hour economy has been a failure. They say you haven't even started it. So I'm surprised.
They are looking for classmates, but they won't get it in NDC.
Is that why you say Baumia doesn't have any message because of some of these statements?
Many more things. Many more.
Like what?
You see, what did he promise? When Anado chose him, what did he tell the people of Ghana? He told him that he told us that he was bringing in Baumia because he believes that he's the economic wizard, and in fact, he's coming to transform our economy. What happened? They left us with a junk economy. How does he convince the people of Ghana after this successful transition from junk economy to economically stable, economy?
But the NDC, the MPP argues that part of the economic transformation that we are seeing today are policies that they introduced in the twilight of their governance.
Next question.
Which has resulted in the NDC
Next question.
enjoying the fruits.
People who want to, associate themselves with the good achievement. And anytime somebody tells you that you've been able to get to this point because at least it means that they are appreciating that you are doing something different from what they are doing.
But you don't appreciate that they were part of it.
How can they be part of it? You pick our economy, destroy our economy, and tell us that the only thing that can be able to survive, or for us to survive, is to introduce e-levy. We throw e-levy out of the basket. Cocoa prices gets to its bottom, but we are able to get out of IMF. we are able to stabilize the economy and all that.
But they argue that they introduced policies like gold for oil, which has now become the backbone of the economy and stabilized the economy.
We are not doing good for oil, are we? We are not doing good for oil. So how do you say good for oil is transforming something? They have nothing to say. You see, they need this break. MPP needs this break, about 12-year break, for them to reorganize themselves.
12 years, you say?
A minimum of 12 years to reorganize themselves. Else, I don't know what they are up to.
Do you think that the MPP is now steering the narrative of the political discourse in the country?
They can't. Do you know why? They keep shifting goalposts. Today, they are on free speech. They have realized that their record is worse off. Yesterday, they were on cocoa farms and cocoa prices. The moment Ivorians announced their cocoa price, half hours, they also shifted that narrative. They are just looking for opportunities or a branch to just hold. Yesterday again, they were on Dumso. Today, do you hear them saying Dumso again? So a bad party is the one that takes decisions temporarily based on happening. They don't have a long-term goal and just depending on a mistake or two that somebody will do or happenings today, they just want to hold on it. Such people are not consistent. And no young boy wants to follow such people.
Do you think the NDC is now a more attractive party for young people than the MPP?
I believe so. And I say that wholeheartedly. I come from a generation that would go to Kumasi and go a campaign and get stoned. People who were wearing NDC paraphernalias were insulted openly. I can't mention some here. Were insulted openly. Today, you go to Kumasi and they are struggling to take your T-shirt off and keep it. Then you can better tell the story of NDC. Where we are heading to, if we become consistent, if we become united, if we give hope to the next generation, even when we are facing difficulties today, and we appeal to Ghanaians, they tend to believe us more. And that is the hope I have for the future.
Whoever the NDC elects as its flag bearer will be a new face. That person will be appearing on the ballot box.
But the umbrella keeps being the same.
For the first time. We also have a very familiar face in Mahmoud Bawumia, who will be appearing for the second time. Many are arguing that if you don't bring a strong candidate, you may lose. But there are those within the NDC who are optimistic that regardless of whoever they bring, even if they bring you, and not to disrespect you, I respect you so much.
Well,
even
I
if they
can't
bring,
the president.
Of course you can. Even if they bring you, you're going to defeat him. Is that a mantra you also subscribe to?
The truth is that, yes, Mahmoud Bawumia has a face that has been around for about 12 years. However, you ask yourself, what is he known for? That is what is going to be the narrative. And secondly, for me, I believe that anyone we elect prior to the 2028 elections on the ticket of NDC will win. I believe. However, anybody who underestimates any other candidate over himself to blame. I believe the achievements of NDC this 17 to 18 months is enough to tell our narrative. However, you don't take the people of Ghana for granted. There are things that people look out for rather than your achievements. Some people even get angry because you, Akogan, Ni boy, town boy, we were together playing soccer and all those. Today, you are here doing A, B, C, D. Never think people are not watching lifestyles and all that. That will not be something for the candidates to deal with. But everybody's life plays a role in the campaign. So there's a lot that we should get focused on. Sometimes a comment made on air. Oh, so today NDC are on their feet. So they think that they are more this than us. These are some of the things that gradually wins off love and becomes like, and eventually may even move to hate. So if we are all cautious, party folks, appointees, and all that, if we are conscious of the reasons for which people vote for us, I don't think that MPP will come near NDC in any way. Then the 38% becomes a reality.
Do you think that the NDC should have been deliberate in getting a succession plan of somebody who would possibly have become an automatic successor to John Mahama if he exits the scene? Because if you look at somebody like Mahmoud Bawumia, he's been in the public eye for 16 years. He's been with Akufo-Addo since 2008 when he was the flag bearer of the MPP. Some are arguing that if you look at the pool of people who are all trying to lead the party, you can't pinpoint this person that, okay, this person is somebody that is a perfect successor to John Mahama. Do you think that the NDC should have been deliberate about getting a successor like the MPP did?
MPP's deliberate attempt to bring Bawumia is what gave them their worst defeat. Because people also thought that it was the turn of Alan. In politics, you don't automatically do any quick fix. It doesn't help. Sometimes, when the water is not stable, wait for it to stabilize. Then you know what the people like. And you know something about NDC. Every elections, the winner wins with a margin that everybody knows that this is the person of choice. Rawlings had that. Prof. Samuels had that. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama had that.
But John Mahama in 2012 had 50.2%, if my memory serves me right. That wasn't an overwhelming victory, some would argue.
52 is overwhelming.
50.
57. I think it's rather 57 or something.
No, that was the previous. I'm talking about 2012. I think it was 50 either 50 or 50.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's between 50 to 51%.
The last time it was 97%.
Oh, you're talking about internal
elections.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about the general elections. No. Okay. Yes. That's correct. That's correct.
Internal elections, whoever wins decisively.
Okay.
You understand? So that brings calmness always to our party. And don't underestimate our delegates. They know what they want. You see, you can't keep engineering people to take over, because without giving examples, there are a lot of people, a lot of potentials who would not contest or who decided that they were not going to contest His Excellency John Dramani Mahama because he was the obvious one. The few that came, they saw the difference that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama won with. So if we become deliberate and say you want Akogan to be your successor, there are 1,001 people who were hoping and marking time to take over. Do you think those people will work towards our victory when they know that if this ticket wins, the vice is going to take over? Then we prefer that the team will lose so that they will also have their time. So sometimes when it comes to politics, it's a dicey game. The choice of, or the decision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama not to show face in who becomes the next leader of our party is a brilliant one that I support.
The NDC has touted the achievements on the economy since you came to power. We've seen inflation go down to 3% from, double digits. When you look on paper, economists and critics argue that this is a wind-chill economy. This is an economy that looks very good on paper, but in reality, it's an economy that is stifling the people. People keep saying that they are suffering. You see the fuel prices have started going up. The city has started depreciating. There are concerns that this is a wind-chill economy, and what is reflecting on paper is not reflecting in the pockets of Ghanaians.
It's because we have decided to do a very prudent management of the economy. There are some few things or few decisions that when you do, you just throw money into the economy, inflation starts rising and all that. But in this same economy, look at the amount of money that has been invested in the Big Push. Look at the number of roads being constructed under the Big Push project. And these are monies that are going directly into the pockets or the economy of Ghana, because deliberately we've decided that we are not going to use any foreign company in this Big Push project, so that the money stays in this economy. Contractors are able to buy more equipment and also to rise and compete with some of the foreign companies who come here and do business. So these monies are being invested in the economy. So if somebody says that the economy is not going well,
not reflected in their pockets,
I don't see it as a reality.
It's not?
Sometimes there are people that obviously the way they got money and the way that their pockets were being lined, it is not being lined same way now. So when they complain, I understand and I appreciate it.
Who are those people? Do you have anyone in mind?
Oh, mostly they are also politicians who has now come to opposition and all that.
Are you talking about the MPP
Those
members?
who didn't buy fuel yesterday and are being forced to buy fuel by the people of Ghana.
You were the deputy national communications officer of your party. Do you have intentions of seeking re-election, or you go for another portfolio when nominations open?
When nominations open, I'll be a national communications officer.
Oh, you are vying to replace Sami Gyamfi?
Yes.
Has he informed you that he's not going again?
Oh, obviously. I wouldn't take a decision.
Okay.
I'm not a coupist.
Okay.
I wouldn't take a decision without talking to my boss.
Okay. Okay. So I want you to be specific. What will you be contesting for?
I'll be going for the national communication officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you surveyed the place to see your chances?
Obviously. That's why I said that I am going to be the next communication officer of this party.
Sami Gyamfi set a higher standard. He set the bar extremely high.
Exactly.
With your party.
That shoe is huge.
Do you think it's a shoe you can fill?
Exactly. It's a and learning or, working with Sami Gyamfi for 8 years. There's a lot of things I can say about him. Things that we do today as a team, Sami Gyamfi single-handedly does it. You understand?
Right.
Is somebody, I would say that they appear once in generations. He's an all-fielder and naturally talented young man. Yes, so I appreciate what Sami Gyamfi comes with.
A generational talent, you would call him.
Yeah.
Godwin Akogan, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
He's the Deputy National Communications Officer of the governing National Democratic Congress. You're still watching The Pulse here on Joy News. Return from the break with more. Stay tuned.
We were living in one of the pavilion behind. Later that we had this new building. Then we now moved to the new building.
You did a lot. They have come here and asked us, and they have continued our 6-unit classroom building.
A lot has changed. After documentary, we had 60 tables and chairs, then a 10-bedroom teacher accommodation.
We have never been fair to these young children. The children are suffering. We applied for school feeding, which will have also helped to increase the enrollment.
The impact has been great in terms of enhancing duty bearer responsiveness, in terms of responding to the infrastructure needs, in terms of teacher availability. We are seeing that there's progress.
On PM Express, power is confronted, claims are tested, and accountability is not optional.
The first 2 months in office between January, February, and March, we had already brought down this rate, and then we have sustained it since.
Politics, business, the economy, social justice. If it affects your life, it will be examined. If it shapes your future, it will be interrogated.
You ever sitting there today, you see me sweating, I'm answering your question, you in the comfort of your chair, putting all these questions to me. That is why you would not have the responsibility of bringing about this document.
No safe spaces for evasion, no comfort in half-truths, just facts, pressure, and the courage to stay with the question until the answer comes.
Your word says,
my words were,
those on Compact Plus, you pay $570 and you get more channels.
Evans,
that moves you.
This is the speech.
To
the speech I read yesterday is what I'm holding here. You didn't read the speech. You didn't write it. I wrote it and I read it.
Because democracy demands scrutiny and the public deserves clarity. When the day's noise fades and the nation needs understanding, there is PM Express on Joy News. Independent, fearless, credible.
The conceptualization of this band began way back in School for the Blind.
Okay.
And it will be very intriguing for people to know that, I mean, a visually impaired person is blessed with what we refer to as perfect pitch in music. It means that somebody can sing, and without necessarily being by the keyboard, one can be able to identify the key with which the person is singing.
Individually, we're trying to project individual talent. Like our drummer, who is right there, who went for World Dramathon.
If you're not pirating whatever it is, you just put a disclaimer on whatever you're putting on social media. And I think that, I mean, that settles it.
This is what it means to be a part of a musical band series.
Welcome back. Concerns are mounting over the rising number of kidney disease cases among children, as specialists point to environmental pollution and delayed diagnosis as key factors driving more young patients into chronic kidney disease and, in several cases, kidney failure. Head of Pediatrics at the University of Ghana Medical School, Beatrice Nyan, notes exposure to heavy metals linked to illegal mining activities could be a major contributing factor. She spoke in an exclusive interview with my colleague, Stephen Mensah.
Hearsay, it is not rumor mongering. There are clear evidence and data to suggest that there's a direct linkage between kidney disease and these heavy metals. You know, the kidney is a strainer. It cleanses the blood of all the toxins, and so all these metals will get to the kidney. Some will directly, affect the kidney and lead to kidney failure. And then this kakuk I spoke about, the congenital anomalies of the kidneys and urinary tract. There's also been evidence to show that the exposure of pregnant mothers to some of these toxins can cause kidney not to be formed well. And anecdotally, so we are trying to put the statistics together well, but from the top of my head, even in this my clinic, I can say probably now, which didn't used to be before, now about like 40%, I mean, I need to put the statistics right, but we are seeing increasingly kidney anomalies. Yes. Hitherto it used to be one-sided. Just this Wednesday, I was telling my doctors in the clinic, it used to be one-sided. Then you see there's a blockage in the tube that brings the urine down. But now it's two, both sides. I was asking my colleagues in the other facilities, we are going to try and put the figures together. So now what I do is that once I see a baby, granted that our skills of picking up these things have increased and improved, but it's becoming one too many.
But how can parents detect early kidney problems in children? Dr. Beatrice Nyan explains.
And the commonest signs is swelling of the face, swelling of the feet. For babies, especially male babies, usually one thing I tell mothers is that when your child is peeing, check and see this your male baby son, whether the pee comes straight at a distance. You know, some will say, oh, he shoots like this, or it is dribbling, dot, 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 dot. Once it's dribbling, it sends our antenna up high that there might be a blockage in the urinary tract. So a male baby who's born should pee and it should come straight and not to dribble, dot, dot, dot. That's an easy thing that we tell mothers. But aside that, once the kidney is failing, it's swelling of the body and then the face. But we don't want to wait to get that. Sometimes, unfortunately, mothers misinterpret that as allergies. Even sometimes some health workers, you know, when people get allergies, their face can become a bit swollen. And sometimes some people also think, oh, they are putting on weight. You know, in the Ghanaian setting, weight gain is a sign of good living. Yeah. So the child is putting on weight. I've had a number of that they said, oh, we thought she was gaining weight. It was good, but it was kidney problem. So the face, the eyes starts getting swollen, sometimes the feet swollen, and then the stomach getting swollen. But those are the signs of kidney problem.
The once thriving Oda Forest Reserve in the Bekwai Forest of the Ashanti region is facing severe destruction due to illegal logging, mining activities, and encroachment. That is according to recent checks by Joy News. Large portions of the reserve, which has long served as a critical ecological zone and source of livelihood for nearby communities, have been reduced to bare lands. Deep excavations, felled trees, and polluted water bodies now dominate sections of the forest, raising concerns among residents and environmental experts. Traditional leaders within the area are sounding the alarm and demanding urgent intervention from the government to halt the ongoing degradation. Before we hear from the chief, my colleague Nana Boakye-Addo is joining us on Zoom with details of this. Nana, welcome to the program. Tell us how the Oda Forest looks like.
Well, Ken, from the checks that Joy News has made up until this morning, it reveals that the Oda Forest Reserve has been enduring a massive environmental destruction from illegal logging, illegal mining activities, and other forms of encroachment. Last week, we engaged chiefs and residents in the area during our visit to the place with the Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources, and then we were being told by these relevant authorities within the area, especially the traditional authorities, that the activities of illegal mining has really affected the once thriving forest reserve, which is the Oda Forest Reserve. And what you see on your screen is a drone flying up high just last week, revealing the rate of destruction with regards to the Oda Forest Reserve, and activities of illegal mining seems to have taken a sharper turn of destruction on this once thriving forest reserve. And so our checks clearly reveal that up until this morning, even activities of illegal mining continue to affect the forest reserve.
Nana Boakye-Addo, thank you very much. Now let's take a listen to Nana Boampim Peko II, who is the Chafohene of the Bekwai traditional area.
Now, Mestre follows Penny, as a Minister for Lands and Forestry. said the Comaton, a Pumo, Bosum, you know. Couldn't to follow some Fiena, my Lamwana Akaka Crano, on dream of my is our Sabikusi Crown Shep and where she are granted and as well she appears. To Mr. Forest and Penfo. Media Moody, Oman Quachi. Then come to me, Dana Forest in Muntaka so Bianco, Uncle Fangwa, own town, Humania, and Fiabinum. Now, quiet known to me at the Union of my. Tell I'm saying so. One a moment grata abemo. It is ungrata as no. There's a moment through. That you will be a Roma, a Baba Bomberman. A Bomberman, I'm swimming my muscle.
We plead with authorities to lock down the forest for us. This is an old-aged forest which has really helped the community and Ghana at large. People are invading it with illegal mining activities. They get the license from the authorities. We plead with the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to help us curb illegal mining in this forest.
Some of them move any pack and on board by a can be a Lucy. It will be Sramo, Bambo now over a man of soldier for Norson. Now, much as obedience for us. Oko to you, ma, your baby a fire, your smile, and a second.
Away from the Ashanti region, farmers and stakeholders in the agricultural sector in the Upper East region are intensifying calls to promote and preserve indigenous seed systems as a sustainable solution to climate change, food insecurity, and the growing dependence on hybrid and genetically modified seeds. The call was made during an engagement on indigenous seed systems and food sovereignty held in Bolgatanga. Correspondent Albert Sore reports.
The stakeholders' engagement on indigenous seed systems and food sovereignty was organized by Tracks Ghana and the Bila Project in collaboration with the Navrongo Bolgatanga Catholic Diocesan Development Organization, Akufo-Addo. The initiative forms part of ongoing efforts to educate farming communities in the Upper East region on the effective use of indigenous seeds and traditional farming knowledge to improve crop yields while reducing dependence on chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and hybrid seeds. Speaking at the engagement, the project director of the Bila project under Tracks Ghana, Abena Ofe Jima, said nearly 80% of farmers in Ghana are smallholder farmers, many of whom continue to struggle with the growing impact of climate change and increasing pressure to adopt adaptation strategies.
We are losing our local and our indigenous seeds due to the influence and the influx of hybrid and foreign seeds. We also know that we're losing our local and indigenous seeds because of climate change and also lack of agricultural policies. Our indigenous seed is also directly related to our indigenous foods. We can talk about some indigenous foods like tubani, sakbo, berehe, a lot of the vegetable soups. They are connected to our indigenous seeds. Not only in terms of the food, but they're also nutritious. I think one of the key pieces is also for the indigenous seeds, farmers don't have to buy it. Farmers save it, it's their own seed, they can cultivate it, they can share it, they can exchange. In times of drought, in times of difficulties, farmers can always go back to their indigenous seeds without it costing them. They can also grow the seeds without chemicals, which has impact on the land and on the environment.
Also speaking at the engagement, Program Director for Livelihood and Agriculture at Akufo-Addo, Dominic Avia Ania, highlighted growing concerns about the use of hybrid seed and the high cost of pesticides and other chemical inputs.
Continuous use of hybrid seed and that of foreign seed is likely to result in the loss of indigenous varieties, the erosion of indigenous seeds in the system or indigenous crop in the system. And when such a thing happens, it means farmers will no longer have access to seeds that they themselves require or seeds that are very tolerant to our environment.
The stakeholders' engagement was followed by a farmers' seed fair. Some of the farmers who participated shared experiences on how indigenous seeds and traditional farming practices were helping them adapt to changing weather patterns.
Organic farming is very, very important because even nowadays fertilizer is very, very expensive and it doesn't add anything to our soil. So we are practicing organic farming because when we practice organic farming, soil health is assured. Then it will also protect biodiversity.
Stakeholders called on government, policymakers, development partners and farmers to redirect attention toward indigenous seed preservation and sustainable agricultural practices to strengthen food sovereignty and climate resilience in Ghana. Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sori, Bolgatanga.
The MP for Akache North and Chairman of Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Kotoy, has renewed calls for increased financial clearance for teacher recruitment to address the growing shortage of teachers in basic schools across the country. According to the lawmaker, more than 1 million children in Ghana's basic schools are currently without adequate access to teachers. The situation, he says, continues to undermine quality education, particularly in deprived communities. The call comes as the Akache North District Assembly commissioned a number of infrastructure projects aimed at improving education, healthcare and sanitation in the district.
Led by the Volta Regional Minister James Gunu, the MP for Akache North, Peter Nochukotui, together with the District Chief Executive Bless Katamani, commissioned 7 major infrastructure projects in the Akache North District. The projects include a 3-unit classroom block at Nudowo Copper, 2 4-seater flush toilet facilities and mechanized boreholes at Afiadanyigba EP and DA basic schools, a 10-unit office complex for the Akache North District Health Directorate, and an ambulance bay for the Ghana National Ambulance Service, among others. Speaking to the media, the District Chief Executive for Akache North, Bless Katamani, stated that the projects are aimed at addressing developmental needs of the district and giving back to...
When you are elected and you are put in authority, look, you are being paid with taxpayers' money as your salary. When you wake up and you come and sit in your office, in your air-conditioned office, in your air-conditioned car, when you are driving burning fuel, it is the taxpayers' money. And they don't need anything from you. What they need is what can ease the life for them. So if you create or you build mechanized borehole, that is the price, that is the payment for them. So that at least what they are losing, they also get it. If you put up toilet, if you put up administrative complex like this, so that they can be comfortable and work for the people, this is paying back to the community, to the society, for what they are losing as taxpayers. So it is not only about power, but it is about meeting the needs of the people of my community.
The original minister said the project reflects the government's commitment to fulfilling the president's promise of completing legacy projects while initiating new development projects.
His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has come back and made it clear to the Ghanaian people that he will ensure that all projects started under our previous regime and even under the MPP, if any, who will complete all those projects. So it's a fulfillment of the promises that we made to the good people of Akache North. And Akache North is one of the districts we created in 2012. And we created it for development. We created it to bring governance closer to the people and advance the cause of development, and that is what we are seeing.
While commending the Assembly's efforts to improve access to education, the head of administration and finance at the Akache North Education Directorate, Promise Avogbedo, revealed that about 180 teachers are needed in the district to address the teacher deficit. According to him, the shortage is negatively affecting academic performance in schools.
Teacher deficits affect teacher learning in this way. Most schools, instead of 10, 12 teachers, have 4, 5, 6 teachers, which led to multi-grade teaching. Multi-grade teaching, I mean a teacher handling more than 2 classes. And this does not augur well for good learning, or does not augur well for a good performance from the pupils. It reduces academic performance because teachers are not there. The few one there man or teach different so many classes, which affect the teacher's performance and in effect trickle down to students' low performance.
The Member of Parliament for Akati North and Chairman of Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Notukotui, acknowledged the nationwide teacher deficit, especially at the basic school level, and called on the Finance Minister to grant more financial clearance for teacher recruitment.
It is not only Akati North, it is all over. And that's why we are not happy with the clearance given by the Minister for Finance that the Minister of Education or the GS should recruit only 7,000 teachers. We are fighting. We want the number to be doubled because estimates show that about 1 million school children at the basic level are lacking teachers. So we cannot afford to make our education standards fall. The Minister for Finance must do something about the clearance that he has given to the Minister of Education. It's woefully inadequate.
Ivy Setoji, Joy News, Akati North.
Poor menstrual hygiene and lack of access to sanitary products are still harming the education and well-being of girls, particularly in rural areas. Project coordinator at REAP Ghana, Aisha Abdul Hamid, said it was vital to involve parents, especially fathers, in providing menstrual products to reduce girls' vulnerability. She was speaking at a public education event on menstrual hygiene in Kasuyili, held to mark World Menstrual Hygiene Day.
The event was aimed at tackling stigma and misconception around periods. Resident parents and pupils in Kasuyili took part in the session organized by REAP Ghana as part of its Ramka project. Speaking at the event, project coordinator Aisha Abdul Hamid said the initiative was designed to improve access to accurate information on menstrual health and to encourage girls to remain in school during their periods.
Poor hygiene affects a lot of young girls when it comes to staying in school. If it happens that you are menstruating and you are not able to get the sanitary product, which is either the disposable, the reusable, or the menstrual cup to use, you end up being in the house just to finish menstruating before coming to school. And also, if you have access to this product without even treating it well, you end up getting infection on long way. And I think that's the reason why that we came to Kasuyili Senior High School and also Kasuyili community to give them the sensitization and also education in order for them to stay in school or even stay in their shop or workplace whenever they are menstruating, and also to do away with infection.
She called on the government to improve monitoring of the distribution of sanitary products to schools to ensure they reach those in need.
To government, I know the government is doing wonderful when it comes to giving out the menstrual product, which is the disposable part. But I plead with government to able to do follow-ups on them, because and also listen to their feedback on the menstrual product that they have been giving them. We are not saying that it's not good. We are saying that it's a good initiative, but they should always do follow-up on it to make sure that the children or the girls in the various schools are receiving it as they mentioned.
Fuseni Barkisu, who attended the event, said the session has been valuable to her.
I have learned that during your menstruation, you have to bath 2 times or either 3 times. Like if you have water, but as far as students, we bath 2 times because we don't have enough water. So, and to change your pads, we have to change our pads in 2 hours, every 2 hours. Some of us, we have high flow, so we change in 2 hours.
The patron of the St. Vincent de Paul Foundation, Jojo Akon-Donko, is calling for increased stakeholder support for the foundation's science and maths quiz competition aimed at identifying and nurturing STEM talent at the basic school level. Speaking at the 4th edition of the competition, where Commander MA Basic A school emerged winners to secure their 2nd trophy, he stressed the importance of collective efforts in sustaining initiatives that strengthen STEM education in Ghana.
Today is the finals of the Commendal Zonal Science and Maths Quiz, and we are here to engage contestants from Asiedu MA Basic School, basically to gauge their reactions and see their expectations going forward in the final competition.
Today we are in the final. It's our first time, and we are unique from other schools because other schools have gone to the final before. The 2 schools you are missing have gone to the final, but today we show them that we are the masters.
People think we are far from the circuit and we are not performing. But because of this very competition, they know that no, although we are far, but there is something going on here. So we want to assure them we'll bring the cup. So they will know.
Your opponents in the competition, and they are saying that this is their first time in the competition, in the final stage of the competition, and they are saying they are here to create a legacy. What's your response to that?
My name is Prince Anami Komlakokpe. We too, this is the first time that we have been to the finals. Although we have been in this quiz for 3 years now, but we too are coming to leave a legacy.
What should we expect from the team?
Nothing but to win. We are carrying the cup. Spiritually, the cup is here, and we are winning. We want the sister schools to know that this is the practicing school for the college.
You've been here 3 times. This is your 3rd time. Is this the time that the trophy is coming back again to the school for the 2nd time?
Yes, please. By what we have learned, we say that the victory is ours and the trophy will come to our school.
This time we are coming to the school with the trophy, no matter what, because we are the experimental basic school and we don't play finals, we win them.
3 schools battled for supremacy in a keenly contested 4th edition of the St. Vincent de Paul Foundation Science and Maths Quiz contest aimed at promoting STEM education among junior high school students in the Commander Dinegwa-Abrim municipality, while first-time finalists Asiedu MA Basic School and Commander College Practice Basic School saw the competition as an opportunity to make history and establish a lasting legacy. Former champions, Commander MA Basic A School entered the contest determined to secure a 2nd title. Patron of the foundation, Jojo Akon-Donko, stressed the importance of collective support in sustaining such initiatives.
But we are using this medium to invite all stakeholders in this country and beyond who are looking at us now to sponsor us, because it's not easy. It's not easy. We have to solicit for funds. Like you saw the prize that we give them, cash prizes and other items. It's not easy. So we are soliciting for using this medium to solicit for funds to come and support us, including the government. I think we are the only foundation who is doing this in the whole region. So we want them to come and support us.
Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Teachers in the municipality, Henry Amate, described the competition as a platform that motivates students to contribute positively to their schools.
Competition has been great. It's a good competition to prepare our children for the future, and I thank the organizers and the CISO for Commander, Mr. Francisco Kudum. He has done a marvelous job, and it's my prayer that it continues through the whole municipality. As we can see, we have talent for future science and math quiz in the in Ghana as a whole.
At the end of the contest, Commander MA Basic A School emerged victorious, and members of the winning team encouraged future contestants to build on their achievements and continue raising the standard of academic excellence.
What I would say is that they should take their learning seriously so that they will be able to win next year's CAP.
Adding his voice to calls for greater support, the School Improvement Support Officer for Commander, Francis Kwekudum, appealed to Primetime Limited, organizers of the National Science and Maths Quiz, to partner with the circuits and the foundation to further strengthen STEM education at the basic school level.
If the producers of the SHS one could pick up this one and then nurture it very well just like this, and the popularity comes, I think we'll be breeding a very young ones. Even by the time they move on into the SHS, there will be something that will be very desirable too. Because looking at last year, this Opoku boy, he was part of the GHS one and he was picked up right from the beginning. And we saw what he was able to do right from first year up to the third year. So I think it should be put on a higher platform if it is that is good.
From Commander, Abigail Lisol Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Ghana's new e-visa portal has officially gone live, marking a major shift in the country's travel and immigration system. Applicants from across the world can now complete visa applications for Ghana entirely online without having to visit Ghanaian embassies or consulates physically. For African travelers, the visas will be issued free of charge as part of government's efforts to promote regional integration and ease movement across the continent. Speaking at the launch at the Kempinski Hotel, President Mahama said, whilst some countries are expelling fellow Africans and making themselves feel unwelcome, Ghana proudly welcomes them and affirms this is their home. He said the system is integrated with advanced security and verification mechanisms to ensure proper screening and monitoring of travelers entering the country.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, effective today, from this moment, all holders of African passports traveling to Ghana for business or tourism will apply for visas exclusively via the new online e-visa platform, and they will pay no visa fee. And so, for emphasis, all African passport holders will not be required to pay visa fees when they apply online. The previous visa on arrival arrangement for African passports, which I initiated in my previous term as president, is hereby discontinued and replaced by this more secure and efficient electronic visa regime. For African countries with which Ghana has visa waiver agreements, citizens of those countries will continue to travel freely to Ghana without applying for visas. For Caribbean and other nations with which Ghana has visa waiver agreements, they also will continue to enter Ghana freely without applying for visas. Applicants will continue to undergo all the necessary vetting and due diligence. The financial barrier for African travel has been removed. What remains firmly intact is our commitment to security, order, and effective border management. By introducing the continent-wide free visa access via an electronic platform, Ghana joins countries such as Rwanda, Kenya, Benin, Seychelles, the Gambia, and Togo in demonstrating that openness and security can coexist. We also send a message that welcoming fellow Africans does not undermine your sovereignty. Rather, it strengthens African unity, it strengthens economic cooperation and shared progress. I therefore urge the remaining African Union members, including some of the continent's largest economies, to act with great urgency to implement the Free Movement Protocol. The African Continental Free Trade Area is operational, and the second 10-year implementational plan of Agenda 2063 is already underway. The architecture for integration already exists. What is required now is the political courage and the political will to implement it. Ghana's doors are open, and we encourage others to open their doors as well. While some countries are expelling fellow Africans, Ghana welcomes them and proudly affirms While some countries are expelling fellow Africans and making them feel unwelcome, Ghana proudly welcomes them and affirms that this is your home.
We've also been hearing from Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who says the policy will boost tourism, business travel, trade and investment opportunities by making access to Ghana easier and more efficient.
So let me emphasize, this morning there's been quite some debate on social media that there was some e-visa contract which we are not respecting, and that there could be judgment debt and all of that. Let me allay the fears of the people of Ghana that there is no such existing e-visa contract. Nothing of the sort exists. We've checked through the files. Our director legal is here. Indeed, the Minister of the Interior also wrote to the Attorney General to find out if there was any such contract, and to also present to the Attorney General for analysis the machine-readable contract which existed, and that is for visa stickers. And the Attorney General's opinion is that that does not represent an e-visa arrangement. The machine-readable contract is different from an e-visa system. And so let me assure the general public that there will be no judgment debt, no contract has been cancelled anywhere, and we do not have any issues at all so far as contracting is concerned. This is also a PPP arrangement. It's a PPP arrangement, and the beauty about this arrangement is that taxpayers have not been burdened. The private partner is setting up the system, of course, under the supervision of the Ministry of Communications, NITA, and the Cybersecurity Authority. So they are investing, and that is how they will recoup their investment over a long period. And so we didn't have to burden taxpayers to, as it were, pay for this system. So it's a very beautiful arrangement, which has been very cost-effective and no burden at all to the Ghanaian taxpayer. And I hope that this clarifies all of those matters that came up this morning. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is truly open for business and tourism, and we thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for his vision to pioneer this on this auspicious day. Let me wish all of you a happy Africa Union Day. Long live the great continent of Africa.
Ghana just made it easier for Chinese investors to do business in Accra. Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare inaugurated the China-Ghana Trade and Investment Promotion Center in Jinan, China, flanked by the CEOs of Free Zones and GIPC. The center, she says, will serve as a one-stop hub for both importers and exporters who want to make their products available to consumers worldwide. Anas Sabit has more.
The Trade Minister's Clinic is typically a domestic platform where inventors and industry representatives sit face-to-face to resolve bottlenecks. But today, it went international. The goal? To help Chinese firms understand exactly how they can support Ghanaian investors from logistics to joint ventures. Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare says the move is useful and to ensure that the answers are immediate with no bureaucracy and delays.
Today, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industries Clinic has gone international. What we do in Ghana is that if there are any issues concerning industries, they will bring it to my office, and the agencies I need, I'll invite them and we all try to resolve it. So, for example, if the matter borders on free zones, I invite the Chief Executive for Free Zone. If it's on GIPC, Ghana Standard Authority, GE, then we try and resolve it. The one that I can resolve on my own, I do it. So now at this investment forum in Jinan, China, we've spoken with some investors who are asking us specific questions. So you realize that I brought in the CEO of Free Zones, the deputy CEO of GIPC, and some technical people from the Ministry of Trade, private sector, so that we have an interaction. It's been successful so far, and it's something that we intend to continue.
Behind the minister are two key facilitators, Dr. Mary Awusi, CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, and Baba Abdulrazak, Deputy CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Their presence sends a clear signal. Ghana is cutting the red tape for foreign partners. But the headline from this visit, the launch of the all-new China-Ghana Trade and Investment Promotion Center here in Jinan. Established in partnership with the private sector, the center will serve as a one-stop hub for investors seeking import and export opportunities between the two nations.
The main idea of setting up this whole space is to make sure that we bring investment from China to Ghana and Ghana to China, vice versa. And so in the afternoon, I'm going to have meeting with some private sector operators who also want to import shea butter and other things from Ghana. And so this is a win-win for Ghana and China. And I think that I have to commend highly the private sector person who worked together with us to have this office. It is financed purely by the private sector.
From policy dialogue to a physical trade hub in just one visit, the minister's China clinic has turned a routine engagement into a landmark deal. For Ghana's investors and exporters, the path to the Chinese market just got shorter. Reporting for Joy News, Anna Sabit, Jinan, China.
That's it for The Pulse this evening. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. The news team returns at 7 p.m. with News Prime. Have a good evening.
Ghana sits on gold, oil, lithium, bauxite, and other critical minerals. But who's really getting rich from this natural wealth? Should Ghana take greater control of its resources, or does that alone change anything? But here's the real question. Will more Ghanaian ownership automatically mean more prosperity? Or does the real answer lie in stronger governance, value addition, and accountability? This Tuesday, Joy Business hosts a major national roundtable discussion on the theme to nationalize or transform, rethinking Ghana's approach to mining oil and critical minerals. We're bringing together policymakers, industry leaders, and experts to discuss what really must change for Ghana's wealth to truly transform this nation. Guests include Engineer Kenneth Gyasi, the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Samuel Menu, economist, IEA, Wisdom Popelampo, Mineral Economist, Minerals Commission, Dr. Edu Nketiah, Executive Director, Center for Policy Scrutiny, Dr. Frank Boateng, Acting Director, Institute of Mineral Resource Investment and Governance, UMAT, Gideon Ayeowo, Partner, Resources and Industry Expert, Deloitte Africa. Join Joy Business live on Joy FM and Joy News TV from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, 26th May 2026. You can also join on Joy News YouTube and other social media handles. To nationalize or transform, a national conversation on Ghana's future.
All right, this is Let's Talk Showbiz. My name is Ike, and today on a very beautiful Monday morning, rainy Monday morning, and rainy Monday afternoon, rainy Monday evening. But yesterday was a very sad one for us in the creative space. I'm talking about the acting space, the actress space, the film industry. We lost a very beautiful lady, and when I heard the news, I was very down because this is somebody I know personally, Befi. informations that we'll actually be bringing you right here on this show called Let's Talk Showbiz. The very first one, of course, is that the manager for Beverly Afaglo granted an interview in which he spoke extensively about what really happened to Beverly Afaglo during the process of she treating the cancer. Even at that same period, she was also actually even premiering a movie, and actually she was putting the movie down there. So let's take a listen to what the manager had to say concerning Beverly Afaglo's treatment with cancer even before she left it.
The unfortunate incident happened.